for 5 years. I thought my health was disappearing because I was getting old. Every morning, my wife Laura made it, my coffee, and placed it beside me with the same gentle smile. But I never knew that something in that cup was slowly changing my life. I could barely walk. I needed help eating. My own daughter Sophie was thrown out of our home. My wife took control of my company and convinced everyone I was no longer capable of running it. Then one morning, our housekeeper Martha did something she had never done it before. She switched the coffee cups. And within minutes, she knew exactly what had been happening to me. My name is Grant Miller, and I built my company from a small office into one of the most successful construction businesses in our part of the country. For years, I believed my wife Laura was the person who stood beside me through everything. I trusted her completely. Then my health started changing. At first, I noticed small things. My hands felt weak. I became exhausted before lunchtime. Some mornings, I struggled to stand without holding onto the kitchen counter. Doctors could not immediately explain why I was becoming weaker. Laura always had the same answer. She told everyone that stress had finally caught up with me. My daughter, Sophie, disagreed. She kept telling me that something was wrong inside our house. She noticed how Laura always insisted on preparing my morning coffee herself. She also noticed that Laura became angry whenever anyone else touched my cup. Then one evening, Sophie confronted her mother. The argument became so intense that Laura told Sophie to leave the house. I was too weak to stop it. That moment broke something inside me. My daughter was gone and my wife was suddenly handling it. My company accounts, meetings, and legal documents. A few weeks later, I discovered that Laura was preparing to sell a major part of my company. I tried to object, but nobody took me seriously. Then Martha, our longtime housekeeper, came to me privately. She told me she had noticed something strange for months. Every morning, Laura prepared 2 cups, but always made sure I drank one specific cup. Martha had never accused Laura of anything because she was afraid of losing her job. But that morning, she decided she could not stay silent anymore. When Laura left the kitchen for a phone call, Martha quietly switched the cups. I watched from the hallway. Laura returned and froze when she saw the cups had been moved. For the first time in 5 years, I saw fear on her face. Martha immediately took my cup away and told me not to drink it. Then she called my doctor. The doctor told us to preserve the cup and contact the proper authorities, rather than trying to investigate it ourselves. That was the moment everything changed. The evidence from the cup became part of an investigation. My medical records were reviewed. Financial records from my company were examined. Then, investigators discovered that Laura had been preparing documents to sell company assets, while I was too sick to challenge her decisions. But there was one thing she never expected. Sophie had kept copies of messages proving that she had warned me about the changes in the house. Those messages became critical. The investigation eventually revealed that my illness was not simply aging or stress. A substance had been repeatedly introduced into my drinks and had contributed to my weakness. I could not believe the person I trusted most had been hiding the truth from me. Laura had not only betrayed her husband, she had tried to take my health, my company, and my family at the same time. And Martha had risked everything to switch those cups. Months later, I returned to work. The first morning, I walked into my company office without anyone holding my arm. My daughter, Sophie, was waiting for me. She looked at me and said, "Dad, you finally came back." I told her no. I finally woke up. Because sometimes the person is standing closest to you is the person you should have questioned first. I spent 5 years believing my wife was helping me survive. In reality, I was slowly losing my health, while she was taking control of everything I had built. One small decision by a housekeeper changed the entire story. If Martha had stayed silent for one more morning, I might have lost my company and my family forever. The greatest betrayal was not that my wife lied to me. It was that she knew I trusted her completely.